He's a DM who occasionally does art in a poor timeline. This is Dm2Art. Alright, so we're working on Fulcrum today. Everybody can see the tattoos now. Yay. That is the tattoos, all embroidered. That took a long time. I don't know how long it took. Oh no, it's all fuzzy for you guys. I'll wait for my internet to sort of clean up. Maybe it won't. Because it says I got a low latency today. Okay. So, that is what we got. And you did not see I had Workday Cannon for a sword. And that's what I decided Bubble Cannon looked the best. So that's what we went with. Trimmed it down, did a lot of warping, did a lot of burning and dodging. The symbols for his tattoos are on the sword as well. But I'm not really sure what I want to do with that. So I'm not sure if I want to give him color. I did put color on him. I don't like how it looks. I don't feel like the sword should have also color. So right now it's black and we'll see what to do. I realize the symbols are getting lost, but at the same time, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. I love the sword. I feel we have to get a little bit more color into the sword itself. But again, I don't really know which way I want to go with that, so we'll look at that later. So, much to everybody's joy, I have to dig out the original picture of me, which I'm sure this will look quite silly, but everybody will enjoy it, I am sure. So, where is it? It is quite the silly. Beloved by all and just as dumb. Character art, drawn art. Let's see. I gotta grab me the Fulcrum drawings. I don't remember which one I used, so I'm just gonna grab them all. Now, the main reason I'm grabbing them all... Okay, it wasn't the first one because I look sad in that one. Slight flare up in 9377 of light. So we're going to take 9378 as a reference. So, dragging it over, dropping it. Well, hello, Levi. So, why am I doing this? I really wish now I hadn't worn so much black on that day, but nah, go figure. So, why am I doing this? Because I want to size up Fulcrum with the lighting that hit me in that room and attempt to replicate as needed. Because our main focus today is to work on skin tones. Now, one of the things I'm quite proud of, though I don't really see it as something you would necessarily be proud of, is I got sticky outy veinies. It's just something I've got. Hands and feet. My veins stick out real big on the backs of my hand. My mom has it too. I have yet to notice if my kids have it. So, go figure. I'm sure there's a cool name for it that isn't sticky outy veins. And here is dramatic lighting on my face. So, now I'm going to do up skin tone for Fulcrum. I'm going to move me behind everything, even the illustration. So as I move it around, it doesn't interrupt. I can move it as close as I need, or I can move it away. So let's crack out paths, and we can actually start the... Because I would go into lighting and shading all the clothing, which we actually haven't done. All the light and shadow that's on there now are the light and shadow that the clothing originally had when this whole thing started. So what we want now instead to focus on is getting all the skin ready to go, because I really hate how flat all the skin looks. So Got the skin path up. The path to skin. So I'm going to set that up there. I am now going to make a skin folder because we will be doing multiple layers of just and only skin tone. And it is going to be tedious, I'm sure. Oh, this cord has got to move to another location. You're going to drop straight down, cord. Skin folder. And we're going to drop skin inside of it. And now I'm going to drop it underneath everything. And I'm going to drop all the clothes in. Belt, cloak, shield, buckle, pants. Yep. Can all go in here. Clothes. Yay, you get to watch me be organized. Woo! And I'll just drop this sword in there too, because why not? Shut the tattoos. I'm still not sure about the color. All right, here we go. Make a new layer. Why? So I don't screw up what I got. Always want to make a new layer. Now I'm going to do broad strokes. You guys are going to see it's going to look like probably a little bit too much, honestly. You also need to set up a palette. So we're going to call this our palette. And I got to shut my selection off so I can paint outside of a palette, because once the selection's on, which is our glowy line, I can't... Oh, come on. What's going on here? Why is my brush so pissed off? There we go. Fun fact, kids. Caps lock turns off the bounding brush edge of the brush, so you can't really see how big it is. Tee-hee, fun fact. So I am now going to sample his skin tone, and we're going to play with what the color slider wants to do. I've got him this pale color, but I also want to saturate it up a little bit more so it's a richer color when it goes to dark instead of a dead color, because if I keep it at the normal thing and I just go dark, it's going to look like it's also dead or ashen, and I would rather have it look rich, like it's full of color. So that is going to be... Oh, gotta have 100% and 100% and nothing weird. Why is it weird? It is weird. It is underneath the clothes. That's why. Yay. So, skin palette. Oh, look at all these people. It's such a good community. So I'm going to do weird mouth noises while I figure out what I want. We're going to go a little sky blue with him and see how that looks. I'm not sure if I want to go that bright, but you got to have extremes ready to go. Of course, we'll need a true black. I'm going to pull from a black that's already in there somewhere. I don't know if that's true black or not, but we'll use it. So here we go. I'm going to take my skin, make a new layer, and call this one Skin Shadow. And what the hey, we'll make the next one and call it Skin Highlight. Now, it starts here, but for skin tones, especially somebody complicated, wow, the tattoos, oh man. I started off with tattoo, shadow, tattoo, highlight, and then I started getting the specifics with each tattoo and just making layers on the fly. I ended up having like upwards of 15 layers for just tattoos, because I would lose track of which one's on what, and I would do cool blending modes. So it is best to start with a good plan, and then if you got to improvise, you improvise. That's how I run my D&D games. So there you go. Now, I'm starting to hit the limit of my ability in Photoshop, which is exciting and daunting, because I find that as an art person, historically speaking, when I start hitting my limit of my ability, like, and by that I mean, and creators out there, I'm sure you can relate, when you're like, why am I not better at this yet? Why, oh, redeemed, teach Cam how to read. Okay. So Cameron, we're working on Fulcrum today. That begins with an F. Let's go into that. F. That is one of our consonants. We're going to spell this right here. This is his actual name spelled out. Now, what is very lucky for you today, Cam, is his name is what we in education call phonetic, meaning for the most part, it does spell like it sounds. And phonics is really the way to learn. The good news is you're coming at me at a good time to learn how to read today, because I have a 4-year-old daughter and we're doing the exact same thing with her. And I'm happy that you and the chat came to me for this. So because this is a f noise, and this is like an ooh, except in this case it's a short vowel sound, so it's going to be an and this is a L. L makes a ul sound. L actually makes the sound it sounds like it makes. This is a C sound, but we're not going to go full srum, because C, though it sounds like it'd be a S, is actually a k, a k, a k. So full k, and then rum, and then that's that right there. Rum is, just think of Ballerin, okay? Rum. So full crumb. All right. And that, everybody, is the teaching Cam to read section. Really, we taught him the only word he needs to know for game. That's it. He just needs to know fulcrum. So when he sees like official, words coming down from his captain, he can follow them. So here we are on skin tone. I'm going to punch up a selection. Yay for me. I am working on shadow. And so now I'm just going to start laying in some shadows. I'm going to have a low flow, low hardness. So what I was telling you about is I'm starting to hit the limit. This brushes, what you're looking at right now, is its own tiny universe inside Photoshop. I will show you. This is brushes and this is brush settings. And the combination of these does get endless. Like, if you look here, these are the standard ones that the newest version of Adobe Creative Suite will load for you. However, see this guy right here? He allows you to make an entirely new brush. So the cool thing is, what is great about Photoshop is the architecture is built in for you to craft a brush entirely of your own. And I am at the time where I need to get in and really start making my own brushes, because I'm finding frustrations and limitations in the standard brushes. And I really don't play beyond the base brush with a soft or hard edge, and it's a perfect circle. Mostly because I like the perfect circle because the edges go well. And anytime you have a fixed angled brush, for example, one of these chalk ones, then the angle of it entirely matters. Like if you go like this, it actually changes how the whole thing's going to flow on the page. So it really matters the brush stroke that you use, so to speak. And I don't really play with them all that often. So frustrating thing is, I know I'm not where I could be with digital painting, but the good news is, once you're at this frustrating stage where you're like, why am I not better at this yet? That means, you're about to change or die. Things are about to get better. Things are about to get better. It's just going to be a difficult learning curve, probably with some frustrations. So I guess that's good news. Let's see here. I am trying to sort of tonally match what's happening on my own face. So I'm going to check out that sweet double chin action. You're about to see Fulcrum seem to get thinner because he is now getting dimensionality, which he hasn't had till now. Levi, don't you think you're kind of overdoing it on shadow? Honestly, no, because I'd rather go too extreme in shadow and make things a little bit too much, and then dial them back selectively with a steady eye, then not go dark enough and have to slowly build up to it, because we're going to micromanage this to death once we get to that stage. So I'm going to come up in here. And I just want to put a little bit of shadow across his brow. Okay, nose is casting shadow, because if it's casting shadow on me, it is for sure casting shadow on him. And just underneath the chin. Zombie decoy, this is like his life. This is the kind of thing, like we're now getting to, I'm not using textures now. Now I'm doing zombie decoys here. He can jump in. Oh, bring in a specific character. Elgie. I'm sorry, other animal G21. I didn't catch that before. Hold on. Let me go get him. Hey, are you busy? No. Just like in here, like cleaning up the Legos. Do you want to do the stream? They're requesting you do the stream today. Okay. All right. This is exciting. I didn't know this guy here. What's this boyo's name, eh? Oh, that's Fulcrum. It's Fulcrum. Right, so it's like a teeter-totter. I'm just going to call him teeter-totter. All right, because I think it's just funnier to say. So, I'm coming in here. It looks like Levi's got that. Now, Levi's got these defined lines around his nostrils that kind of just like touch up. Oh, hold on now. Do what I say. Get out of the way. Oh, just move your butts. No skin shadow. I told you. All right. So, gonna come over here. Are people more? Are you trying to get me to walk him through how to say those words then? Oh, it's tough to type with. I'm not gonna lie. You see, well, I got a little bit here being redeemed. I think this is fair because I heard that Levi was just raining terror on the World War Z that night and just laying it on thick. So I want to make sure I get a little bit of shadow over here, even though he's getting lit on that side of the face. Maybe a little bit here. I don't like it above, I only like it below. Oh, I can see how this is getting crazy. Okay, let's see here. I have a lot of words to teach Cam how to read. Otorhinolaryngologist. Otorhinolaryngologist. Alright, so Cameron, the way that you say that is you say, you see the O at the beginning. Well, that one is a long O. So it's O-to. And then in the middle there is rhino. And rhino, and this means, probably it's a reference to nose, honestly. So you got otorhino, and then you got larin. I know that's a Y, but you actually pronounce that one with an I. Because sometimes Y, sounds like an I. And then laryngologist. And an ologist is a scientist that studies something. So then we got, that's a tricky one. No, that's a Brit word right there. You know, you got Shire in it. That's a dead giveaway right there. So that one looks like it's Worcestershire, but you don't say it that way. You say war, and then that right there is just something you need to know. It's just a dialect. This is Chester, even though there is no H. So it's Worcestershire. And then the last one is, it looks like Ainmone, but it is not Ainmone. So this one you have to say anemone. 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 You got to get your anemone and your clownfish. So, good thing I am now teaching Cameron how to read. So, oh, wait. Pika put a very important one in there. That one's Pika, and then Pikachu. And then, that is right there. That is, the most famous, Pokemon of all time, probably. the electric mouse Pikachu. And that is both Pika saying hello to you, and the translation, that one is hello, and then the second one, Pikachu, has every context, so it makes it a little bit much. So in this case, Pikachu, all right, in this case means hello, why can't you read, is what it's saying. So in this one, the way it would be inflected would be Pikachu, and then so it would be like, hello, why can't you read? And that's what it's trying to say. So that is Pikachu, the language spoken by the character Pikachu of the surname Pikachu. All right? We got that? All right, that's lovely. That is lovely. So, here we go. Back to Drawn, which is, what's supposed this be about, I guess. But, sometimes things get derailed. So, I've got the face pretty well done. Now I am watching the arm. So, I gotta drag myself... Oh, no, didn't want that. I gotta drag myself to the side so I can maybe, I'm just gonna wing it because I know I got a long sleeve on. It's not gonna help me much. Let me see if I got anything else that will help. No. I'm just gonna go for it. And if I like it, I like it. If I do not like it, I'm gonna change it. So go back to Skin Shadow and grab that paintbrush. And we're going to do broad strokes. So in here, the side, underneath the armpit, getting pretty dark. And go up here, because, yes, he's getting hit with light, but that light is blocked, I'm sure. So coming under here, and this is where I was really excited, because as I'm finally getting to do a little bit of a dark shadow underneath the tattoos, and that I was pretty excited about. I'm not gonna lie. Let's lay a bit in for a bicep. Nope, I want to slide that back just a hair. That's not to say he didn't have any bicep, but oh, there's a great deal about the economy cost of cam points. And I'm sure Rain has thought about it quite a bit because he's a conscientious guy. He loves number crunching. He loves it. Loves his number crunching. So I'm going to I am increasing the size of the brush because I'm generally going to go in here to the forearm and lay out a bit of shadow on the back side, because we've constantly established in all these that the light is coming in from the left. Now I am laying out the back of the hand, and I'm going to cover the rest down here in a little bit of shadow from the sword around it. Oh, I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. Drag it up. Now, after this, I'm going to go in and do all them veins. Give a little bit of a straightaway for underneath the elbow. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So, going in here, little pop of color. Drop in some shadow underneath where the jeans are ripped. Now, it's dramatic shadow change here, a little bit here, because right here the normally the shield would almost entirely cast his hand in shadow, but in this case I have to be careful that I'm not going too overboard, because he's turned it for shortening. He's facing towards the light. He's the only character that is standing up and facing towards light in the group shot, so he'll get a lot of light hitting him on the face, and so I want to have it be only all from the side. Okay. Cameron, seems I need to teach you how to do Gatorade. That is a energy drink. Well, not really. It's like a fitness energy drink full of electrolytes, and it's like meant to help counterbalance the correct kinds of salts in your body after working out from being dehydrated. So the good thing about Gatorade is, Cameron, is it's a phonetic, just like Tirototor, the Fulcrum name. So you it looks like gat or aid, or if you look at anemone, it looks like Gatorade, but it's not. It's a gate, long A, gate, and then it's or, and then it's a long A again. Gate or aid. Gatorade. Gatorade. It's a thirst quencher. So, thank you very much for, and this has been, oh God, for my name again. Ilgnubgid. This has been Ilgnubgid, with today's phonics lesson. For everybody a little bit hazy on their language. So drop a little bit of shadow here, like maybe this thumb really does cast a bit of a shadow. Oh, I like that. Nice and three-dimensional there. And these boys, I'm just putting here in a little bit of shadow, a little bit of his stomach can be seen. The kneecap, it's going to get hit a little bit bright, and then coming in here, I'm going to have a little bit of shadow. It brought me great sadness. I am not gonna lie. Dig Bungle. Oh no, sorry. That was never his name. Let's not forget, never his name. Ilgnubgid grew up with a glorious name that he quite liked, and his creator, he would never have any regrets about any blessing brought to him by the great unknown as its champion. So no regrets for Ilgnubgid, but I do quite miss the name. I'm not gonna lie, missed it. Okay, so I didn't like that. Where was it? That one right there. I dropped it behind. I just want a little bit, not too much. So it's official, if nobody knew, in the state of Illinois, we do not have any students going back to school for the calendar year. If you had not heard, there you go. Gonna add this little bit, and I'm not gonna do very much to him down here. He's only a little guy. Get a little bit of shadow in there, just a little touch. Now, let's see what we can do about the highlight. So go to the highlight, grab it. Highlight's going to be quite potent. Little bit too much, to be honest. At first, I guarantee you'll be like, oh, too bright. But here we go. I haven't done the hair. Hair will probably be the last. That word tripped me up a little bit, didn't it? Coming on here. Oh, it's coming in soft. Starting to look like Thrawn from Fallen Empires. Or Shadow of the Empire. Whichever Star Wars that one is. Not that I would know what a Star Wars is. It sounds like a Stars Go to War. Maybe it's like a divine intervention thing, eh? Oh, a new option has appeared. What is it? Restore my character name. Oh my! Ho ho ho! Well, I could do that right now if I could just not recuse myself. I could do that 7 times over. Oh, Goodly Wolf, that's very kind of you. Oh, fine. Not players. Fine, I see how it is. Grand Admiral instead of Captain. Oh, no! Reversing it back's a little bit much, eh? So, coming in here, laying in some bright. I'm going to touch up the forehead just a little. Bring in the cheekbones. Don't want him looking too elven. Not too elven. Just a little bit. Because it implies, you know, tieflings are like naturally fine featured. Okay, so I am not gonna put highlight on the neck. I'm not doing it because you put highlight on the neck, you're saying that every part of his body is getting hit with its own lighting, and that's just not true. Some whole body parts will be cast in shadow. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to go back into the shadow and cast a little bit more. Because after we go in here, we're going to hit multiply, and you'll really see things change possibly for the better. I'm not going to drop any highlight here under the armpit. I'm instead going to start attacking the shoulder. Oh, I do like that idea. So like all of the audience is the great unknown. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, that's a bit of a problem, eh? But that should work itself out with multiply. To say problem, I didn't mean the audience. I meant what I appear to be getting here is the highlight, because it sits on top of the illustration layer, is cutting out my own drawings. And I didn't want that. Hit it hard. Backing off a little bit. Grab a little bit of this. Oh, gonna hit this guy real hard. It's my goal today to have it almost done, just almost there, like, but not quite, because I still have to work on game, which we're running tomorrow night, and I've been working on it all day. Oh, we got Cuddly Wolf once. Oh, well, I'll stand up to any challenge. It got weird last time, Cuddly Wolf, I'm not gonna lie. They requested the twins from the last game, or multiple games ago. They're actually like twin devil women, chain devils, and so I had to sound pretty creepy the entire time. I didn't like it at all. Did not like it at all. But you know, you gotta stick to the character. It's what the chat wants. You give them what they want. That's what entertainment is. Oh, well, I never said so. So, I did say that I was able to do, you know, any... I started off with Everstorm characters, but I never said that you have to. So, I'm fine. It can be whatever you want. I mean, how badly do you want them to spend them cams, eh? I guess that's the question. Because I'm not from the Everstorm. I'm from a place called something else. It's an empire. I know that because I took good notes. Oh, this highlight's a bit much. Baby? What is baby? Oh, Wazir. All right then. I'll go get him. Oh, Wazir. They're requesting you over here. Oh, yes, I will grow you. I'll owe you a great acquirement. Yeah. Okay. Hello. It is a good afternoon to be spending with all of you today. I am Wazir. I will keep my name simple for outsiders because my name is quite lengthy and at times it seems to test the patience of all outsiders. Yes, I am from a community called Saraka Blaze. It is a gem in the Great Sea. I have to be very careful what I discuss today because at the same time, I know a good deal more. Oh, hello, Mr. Pancake. It is a pleasure for you today. I am to give you great acquirement. It is my understanding that many of these things would not be possible were it not for the actions of a great Lord Pancake and his great many creations. So it's with that I offer to you many great tidings, for your art is very pleasing to the eye. All of you, if you're unaware, Mr. D.L. Pancake today is David Lee Pancake, the father of the player of Skizer, and also in many ways our patron. If our stream TT2KB were to be a warlock in its own right, then it would be a warlock under the patronage of Mr. David Pancake. And so it is with great respect and admiration I say to you to please look over his wares. He is a skilled artist of many talents and who is suffering at the hands of the coronavirus hurting his business today. So please look over his many things. They are beautiful, they are of high fantasy, they are quality sculptures and also jewelry, and both small and large. If you join the Patreon, then you have the ability to put large pieces that might have been considered out of your price range on layaway so that you may put payments towards it, so that someday something that would be considered previously unreachable would now be quite reachable. A number of people in the stream have his works, and I am very proud to see that he is with us today. So, however, this is Fulcrum, and Fulcrum is the captain of the outsider ship that recently visited Saraka Blaze, and I am always trusting in the wisdom of the Toten. That is without question. The Toten guides us as is guided by the Roar King, as is spoken through the smoke. The Toten is to see what is to be laid out for the future of Saraka Blaze. And though I have said these things, and I would not wish any slug to hear, I am not entirely trusting of these men. They have saved my life, and for this I am in great offerings to them, an acquirement which I could not repay. And so I have given them an acquirement of reputation, that I shall place my word that they can be trusted. However, it is to be understood, they have been asked to do a task which I find quite dangerous, and this task would ask of them to go far and do many dangerous things in many dangerous waters. I think it would be too much to ask anyone, let alone an outsider. But maybe this is the wisdom of the Toten. It is not my place. I am to guard the gates. So, we are now accomplished with this skin tone, and now we will watch a great change occur. We shall make Levi go away. And now we shall focus on how this is affected when it goes into a blending mode. Blending mode is these. It alters the way in which light and shadow flows through one layer to another. And so in this, we shall use the one we have used largely since the beginning, multiply. Now you've seen things go darker than before. And what is beautiful is you notice everywhere where a shadow exists, now a hard black line has come through. The thunder that you hear above me is the thunder of the great Everstorm. It rages at times and does not stop spinning. There is a great many wonders why, but we do know, as the smoke tells us, that the Everstorm does not listen to the Roar King, nor disobey the whims of the slag. We are at its mercy, and as such, we should be quite careful in its presence. And so we remain. Now I shall go to the highlight, and I shall look upon not multiply, because if you look at multiply, it's to go to dark. So this is to go down to potentially screen or lighter color. Light 10 is not a bad idea. Screen is too bright. I do not like the bright whites. I do not feel Fulcrum should have any patch of light skin that is so bright it goes to white. That will detract from the focus of his eyes being white. Ooh, that is interesting. Color Dodge has brought some greens out in his skin. That is quite interesting. I had not considered that. See, if you can see how well his eyes glow inside the cloak, that is a choice. And in many ways, the player for Fulcrum is Timothy, and Timothy is some ways the resident edgelord of the group. Though he is kind, he does like to be dark. Overlay, soft light. I do like soft light. I often do. Hard light. So many choices. So many choices. Goodbye to the ER, and please be safe. Going to see what the highlight is doing in different up closes. To the soft light preserves the black line. That is preferential. If it lets the black line show through, then the black line remains a black line. It is not something I have to touch up. Overlay does quite a nice job. Linear dodge, no. Color dodge affects the line. This is a tough decision. Hello, Sunimahara. Oh, that is Tay. Welcome, Tay. Decisions. Well, of course not these. They are terrible. I think I will do soft light. I can then control what is happening. Now, if for those of you that feel this was still too dark, here is your trick. I have made the highlights on his skin, and if I wish to make more, I simply take the highlight layer and I duplicate it. It will also duplicate the blending mode, so layer a copy of the soft light highlight on top of the soft light highlight, making it brighter. And I can continue to do this. I can do this over and over and over until it becomes the brightness I choose. Then I can compile them all together to a brighter version of themselves. This I enjoy. This is desirable. So, Cameron, are you still with us? Cameron, I am to teach you one of the names of the unknown. Cameron, we are to face Sunimahara. This is a complicated word, and it is not a phonetic word. Built into it is Sunima, which is not quite unlike a tsunami. A tsunami is a tropical storm. It is a tidal wave that comes in and makes landfall, usually as a byproduct of a hurricane. In this case, the T in tsunami is a silent T. So, though it begins with a capital T, you will ignore this T. You will ignore it. You will not look upon it. It is shameful, this T. You will look instead at the S. Su. U. It is a Su. No, it is not T, Sun, Aim, Iara. No, this is not it. You are incorrect. You are to listen. We know you do not read. So, it is not Sunima Hera. It is Sun, Sune, Sunima Hara. And then Hara, it is A and A. Ha and A. Hara. Sunima Hara. You're welcome, Cameron. And that was today's Let's Teach Cameron How to Read. Because together, if we all work as one, we too can get Cameron to read. I have done many highlights. So, in this, I shall put away the skin palette, and I shall do greater focus on other details with the skin at a later time. I really like to go through the skin as a final, and I look at many references of arms, faces. I do not have my arms exposed, so I will look at other arms to make sure that I am not over-exaggerating and to make sure that I am getting all the details. It is difficult, and you want to make sure you are accurate. So, I shall now focus on the breastplate. The breastplate had some interesting details that we never truly got to. I'm going to shut the skin for now. It is something we will come back to. Like I said, I find that we will someday, that we will complete Fulcrum likely another time. I do not feel we will get all of him done today. It is unfortunate, but if I were not also planning the game I am to be running tomorrow, then I would have this done already. So, here we are. I'm going to focus on the breastplate. And I'm going to grab the illustration because I have to use the magic wand on the illustration layer and make sure that all of these are airtight. And I have to grab these elements because these would have been part of an order that Fulcrum is not aware of. Well, he is aware of, but he is not aware of the name necessarily. And this would have been a group from which he would have stolen or salvaged their armor from early on in the game. This would be the armor of a member of the Bright Sky Legion, which is part of the campaign right before this campaign, in a backstory of a character, of a player who does not play with us any longer. However, I am a big believer in allowing players, I shall back up. I offer great acquirement to Levi. I speak out of turn. Levi believes, we seem to have another word I have to teach. Cameron, are you ready? This is anagnoresis. This word is unknown to me as a humble slag. I shall... Excuse me, madam. Could you please... I am speaking to a Shrota, and a Shrota is, in this case, one of our knowledgeable speakers. Our knowledgeable speakers are able to break down a great many things. Agnoresis is, in this case, a moment or plot or story, a tragedy, where the main character recognizes or identifies their true nature. And this leads to the resolution. So, in this case, I am told there is a pop culture film called Fight Club. And in this case, anagnorisis would have occurred with the main character only towards the end of the film, where he truly understands the strange, duplicitous nature of his own inner psyche. Anagnorisis. So here we go. It contains in this a strange twist inside. An, and because the and very short, and then anag, and in this norisis, it is norisis because it is based on the Latin of gnosis, meaning knowledge. And in this case, the G is silent. This G is silent. It is a shameful G. It is to be ignored. It is beneath. It is beneath and it is not owed. It is beneath and it begs. And so for this, you will not look upon it. You will look past it. And this is anagnorisis. Anagnosis. So, there it is. We have taught Cameron a complicated word he will likely not use. But in this, we have enlightened him with the knowledge that he is capable, he could have, if he chose simply to apply himself and read further. And so in that, maybe we have inspired Cameron to better himself. I now go to the breastplate. I am going to layer on above. In this case, I am going to stick to cool colors. I am going to stay to blues because when in default, we are to use blues with this. And the Bright Sky Legion, I am going to use a blue-violet. I want to ride that line quite well. Let me look at the cloak. I believe I also did blue-violet for the cloak. So I do not want to double up on a color I have used. I shall go towards a more pure purple. So I am going to... No, I shall make the iris. If you do not notice, the design of this is to be an eye with a burst of light in the middle. This is an organization in the game. Apologies. And this organization in the game is a police force that trails magic users who are irresponsible in their pursuits. And specifically, though they are responsible in their pursuits, they themselves are not necessarily purist magic users. They are actually a priesthood that worships a god of magic. And in this case, the god of magic would like magic to be reused in a responsible manner, so that the pursuit of magic is by nature accepted and supported. So, I'm going to drop this color. We'll see if we like it. This is, of course, not how it shall appear. That is a flat tone, and it will not be a flat tone. It will also have placed upon it some sort of blending mode to allow you to see the underlying texture of the metal. Overlay does seem nice. Multiply, I believe, went to too dark. Yes, see, this is too dark. This cannot be seen. So, I do like color burn, but again, I will come back to this because we are quite fortunate, chat. It is true. One of the things I like about our group is that we actually present each different skills brought to the table to improve the group as a whole. I know that sounds very cliched, but in our case it's actually true. Oh, soft light looks quite nice. I am enjoying this. Soft light is quite enjoyable. I will now use a combination of the color and a blending mode, and since that color only exists on that layer by itself, it is alone, I am going to use image adjustments to make global changes to it. So I'm going to go to brightness contrast and darken, and I get some not quite what I would have liked possibly. So let's see if maybe hue adjustments will do this for us. Hue adjustments will change it slightly. This deadens it, but I do like that it is more of a deadened color because I do not think it would be so bright. This I like. This is acceptable. I will now make a separate group for the breastplate and all the elements I do to them, so they are not lost. I shall call this armor. Yes. I will maybe possibly place the shield in it as well. That makes sense. Cloak, belt, sword copy, put buckles, boots, pants. Okay. This will do. This will be desirable. So, I'm going to take the breastplate, the illustration. Cameron, we have right here a new word. This is a medical term. Epistemology. This one is also unknown to me as a slag. I shall speak to my Shrota and see what they have to tell me. Excuse me, madam. What is... I am approached by this word that brings great puzzling. This is... No. This is epistemology. The theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity, and scope. It is the investigation which distinguishes justified belief from opinion. It is the pursuit of knowledge. And so, for that, I am to offer to you, Cameron. It is epi, E-P-I, epi. It is a short E, it's not E-Pi, steamology. It is short in the two first vowel sounds. Epi. And then again, short vowel, stem, epistem, ology, epistemology. And you now are aware of another word that you will not likely use, but hopefully will inspire you to greater pursuits. And so I shall go to this today and grab the eye itself. Yes, I feel for those that would support the name change, there are those that would wait just to turn it back and to watch the light slowly die from my eyes. I will now have this. I am going to, for this, simply change the armor. I'm going to go on a layer above. Where is this? I shall go here to layer 18, and I shall drop a color, which I'm simply going to make a dead color, a color I pulled the life out of, to here. And I'm going to make it a blue, because if you make a gray out of a blue, it is a very cold blue. It is a cold gray. The gray feels like it is the gray of metal. Cold, lifeless, but strong, as opposed to the grays that you find in rust. Something about brown metals, warm grays, do feel that they have their own life, because it is in the same way that life retakes these metals. And yet when you see the city and these grays are cold, it's as if the cold grays stand in defiance of what is around them. So I shall take this gray and I shall dump it on the layer. I do like this gray. It has a little touch of the purple, but not quite. And now I shall see what the blending mode does to it. I want it to darken, but only slightly. This is not good. I'm already in the darker colors and I have passed them by. Difference. I shall go to the top again and look through the dark ones. Darker color, linear burn, color burn, multiply. What did overlay do? Overlay sometimes is very beneficial. Not enough. But overlay we shall possibly stack upon itself more than once. Duplicate. This is turning to blue, which is not preferable, but I shall keep it for now. I will merge this down so the two effects are combined, and now I will move on. I do not want this armor to pull focus. So in this case, we are doing quite a study in simplicity. So I am going to make sure that I keep these elegant and simple. Not too bright, not too much. So for this, the Bright Sky Legion's emblem, which is to be a great color burst. This would be representing of a god of knowledge. So I'm feeling it should possibly be white with tints of blue. Something that feels medical. I'm going to attempt to do a gradient. I'm not certain it will appease, but I will try. Gradients are tricky in Photoshop. They do not always do what you choose, and so to be on the safe side, I'm going to play this cautiously. I'm going to place a square and make sure that this square is much larger than the actual image. And inside of this square, I'm going to place a gradient. Now I shall explain why in a moment. I want to be able to customize its shape very specifically. So the burst occurs in the correct space, and the burst by nature is lined and foreshortened, so it cannot be a spherical burst. This would flatten. It would have to be elliptical in its nature. So I'm going to come here and go to white and pull this down. And I'm going to come here, but more pure. If I could do I do like this, and I do like an in-between color. We shall try this, though I am not entirely hopeful. I'm set to the same level. I shall make a bigger square because I feel I will need one. And I will set to the same level as this star. In fact, I will move it here, and I shall place it here in the center and pull. And it is the opposite of what I need. I need to make it a burst, and I need to make it white in the center. See, this is why we do these things. It is a learning process. It needs to be reversed. So I shall simply change it. Now it is set. No. Alright, now we have to be most cautious. So I'm going to set this layer to something I can see through. Not darken. I am going to leave it on color dodge only because in color dodge I can see the rim of the glow. I can see how clear it is. So it is not going to stay this way. This would not be ideal. Now I'm going to take my square and I'm going to squeeze it to make sure that it is elliptical in appearance and that the color burst occurs in the correct location. This is quite nice. So, I will now go to the original illustration with a magic wand, and I will grab all of the points of the star. Now on this great box, I will layer var copy, and I will destroy the box. And now it should radiate out in the right way. I will not leave it like this. I will play with its presence as well. Wrong layer. It's layer 20, not layer 19. I will not leave it on color dodge. No, I am off center. Oh no, I can see it is going to drive me crazy. Oh no. No, that is terrible. I shall go back in time. Oh, I trusted you, color dodge, and you betrayed me. Color dodge betrayed me, and I do not know the way. Oh, I've cycled through so many. I'm going back in time here. Shutting off all of these. Going back to this layer. I need to put it on, I believe Lighten showed me the truth. Ah, thank you, Lighten. You are so kind. I am going to bring down the opacity, making it very hard to see that burst, but I need that burst to be absolutely center or I will go slowly mad. I can hear my children taunting each other upstairs. And I am almost certain if I was upstairs, I would be very angry at them for taunting their sister. It seems somebody is trying to have me become somebody else. Lightly manic, Levi. I can take care of that. Thank you very much, Wazir. You can go back to your post. Most gracious. Thank you very much for this opportunity. You don't owe me anything. You're fine. Oh, I mean, it's like they're very nice, but at the same time, I feel like I'm in the middle of a business negotiation all the time. So, making this go away. Lightly manic. Aren't I always lightly manic? Aren't I always lightly manic? Okay. That's what that sounds like. Hold on, I'll just try and summon an anxiety attack and then I can cry on camera for everybody. It'll be great. Calf Levi. I really wonder how much caffeine has an effect on me. Or, here's the deep one, right? Have I been drinking so long that really the mood disorder I've convinced myself I have is actually just caffeine? In which case, oh, I'm in deep. I'm in deep. Okay. I am now going to bring back that burst. Ah, look at that's beautiful. Sits nice in center. Center is delightful. Copy. Deleted. Oh, I'm not going to freak out. It's on a lighten mode, so it's not going to show. I got it. We got this. I'm freaked out for a second there. Did I not? What's going on here? Did I not do the middle? I didn't do the middle. I'm a dum-dum. Don't be a dumb, Levi. Didn't grab the middle. Look at that. That's what I get. Yeah, I didn't grab the middle. Like a dumb. Magic wand, middle. Oh, yay. There it is. Now, I layer via copy. Layer via copy. That's soft light, which I kind of like, because it still looks like the metal's been toned. See, I like that because it doesn't become the main focal point. The main focal point needs to be Fulcrum, not the armor. And plus, if we use yellows or warm colors, then it really starts to pull from the pops of warm color that directly contrast everything that's on Kodo. Kodo's all blues, but Kodo has these big, bright color bursts of orange and copper and gold, and that should be the contrast. And this one, I do like a focal point on each one. So yeah, it's bad. And the funny thing is, you're hearing that meltdown and it's upstairs. It's crazy. It's crazy. When she gets to full, it's impressive. I kind of start watching her going like, yes, honey, destroy them all. Destroy them all. Even though I know it's being directed at my wife. I'm just impressed. All that rage. She's gonna need it. I wonder what's making her mad today. She wants Mama to do something. She just said. Okay, don't read something. Mind you, like... Okay. That means the boys are making her mad on purpose. And they're probably like giggling because they think it's hilarious watching her get mad. They think it is the funniest thing on earth. So, I am not going to do light and shadow color changes to the colors we just did. The main reason being is, wow. The main reason being, hold on. I want to go up there and like say something, but I know I won't help. Okay, so I think you guys are stuck with it. Sorry. Parenting. I don't know what else to say. So, I'm going to... But if you could listen to that and, you know, be okay, hey, you might be ready. Okay, I'm going to grab these dents because I'm going to want to darken these dents, at least part of them, to look like dings in the armor. What you missed, Pika, is my daughter is upstairs. There it is. Losing her mind. Losing her mind. And I have no idea what it's about. It's probably about something that her older brothers took from her that she's convinced she must have. And because they know it makes her mad, they keep taunting her with it. That's pretty typical. Let's see here. Now I'm going to take those and I'm going to layer via copy from the breastplate. So I'm literally taking slivers of the metal layer and copying it on top of itself. So now they're set to normal, but instead of them being set to normal, I'm going to go in and mess with the brightness and bring them down a couple hairs. And then I'm going to put shines in them later to make it look like it's like broken, dented metal. That's going to actually have some decent detailing to it. But for right now, we're just going to darken it to mark the location. What do I want here? Actually, screen kind of did a lot of magic for me, so I might leave it on there. I kind of like that a lot, so I'm going to leave that. I can go in and tweak as needed. I'm going to merge down. I think I'm going to keep it. Oh, no, something went away. You know what? I'll play with it later. So, got the breastplate. Make a selection. Now, metal. Metal is tough. There's really no other way around it. Metal's just tricky. So, really, I should do like a layer above where I just add black as needed. And then I have it on a blending mode. I think that's going to be the plan. So this should be just normal black. Okay. But we'll see if that's actually opaque black, but I don't want it to do that. I kind of like darken multiplies generally reliable. So we'll go back in time to before I did it. Stick it on multiply. Oh, it's the heaviest of metals. Actually, it's not. I think that's tungsten. So, my brother-in-law is an engineer, and his wedding ring is made out of tungsten, which he was very, very impressed with. I think he seems like a smooth jazz kind of guy, you know? Anything to quell those demons. Devils. Ooh, shouldn't have said that. He would have been real mad. Soft strokes here. Actually, I had to do some metal research. Like, when you're a DM, you end up learning a lot of random crap you didn't know. It is racist. You got to get that right. A little patchy in here. Okay, I kind of like that. Put a little undershadow here where the cloak hits it. Nope, don't like it. Looks ugly. Do it in layers. I'm up the flow rate. There we go. It's cleaner. Okay. Yes, Sunamahara is correct. Also, me too, Pan. My ring is titanium. So I would love Dustin to chime in. But if I ever get my finger crushed in something, then my ring finger on my left hand will have to be removed because the tools that they'll have in the ER will be able to cut through my hand, but not the ring. Because for its weight to strength ratio, titanium is the strongest metal when in ratio to its own weight. Which I was like super psyched about. It was also super cheap, which I don't mean to be cheap about my wedding ring. I was not cheap about my wife's wedding ring. Hi, everybody. I'm not a jerk, but I was about mine because I just wanted a cool metal. I didn't care if it was pretty. Like if I could get an adamantium ring, right? But I can't. If I could get mithril, oh, right? Oh, that's my baby. Hey, honey, everybody heard the meltdown. What did the boys do? And why was Leela mad about it? I don't know if we're going to find out. Well, we're just going to go back to painting then, kids. I'm painting some... Yep. What was it? What did she want that the boys kept taking from her? It sounded like that kind of scream. I guarantee, chat, it was something very, like, not a big deal. That the boys only did it just to make her mad. She's the bestest. Okay. To her iPod? Is that it? I'm excited. I'm excited for this. She wants that Bon Jovi off her iPod. That's fantastic. That makes sense. That gets why she's kept screaming, "That's my iPod." Oh, I love her. Okay, now I'm literally just trying to put the tiniest bit of shadow along these seams. These seams will not remain so shadowed. I'm going to go through here with a fine-tooth comb. I just want them to look like the tiniest groove where metal meets metal. And it's honestly those tiny details that if you get them looking nice, everything just is a little higher caliber, just a little better. The devil's in the details in art, because that's when people can tell you care about your own work. If you don't bother to do the details, nothing separates you from the person that decided to just, I don't know, pick up the tool and just say, that's good enough. And the great and terrifying thing about the internet for art these days is everybody can put their art online. So the great thing is, you can find your community that supports you in your art, but then also you can see just how many people are better than you. And that is both, I don't know, disheartening and at the same time inspiring. So it's both. It has to be, it's not just like you don't see the world as the people that are better than you, but like you see that people doing things that are like, oh, I could have thought of that. Like that's me too. So it's the whole art game. You want to make sure that you're trying to improve as you go. Oh, I hear the thunder. Daddy! Yeah, here she comes. Oh, this is happiness. This is happiness. Yeah,
we got the soundtrack of Trolls 2 on my iPod.
What?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's so good.
It's so good.
I'm listening to something else, but I hope it's good.
Okay, come here. I want you to say something real quick, okay? A bunch of people can hear you right now, and they heard you getting so mad at your babas.
Hi.
Okay, you don't have to get so close. Tell everybody, what did the babas do? Was it Huxley or was it Ever?
It was Huxley and Ever.
What did he do that made you so mad?
He put on a song I didn't like.
Where did he put it? Did he just play it on his own phone?
He played it on my iPod.
Oh, that is...
As a Rudy.
As a Rudy? Like he's being a rude person? He's a Rudy butt.
He stole it when I didn't say he could have it.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you get to see Trolls 2, the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Tell everybody if you liked it or if you didn't like it.
I liked it.
What was your favorite part?
All of it.
Okay. All right. You go listen to those songs. I love you. Bye-bye, Bear. Okay, there she goes. The Leela endorsement of Trolls 2 stands. I also saw it. It was fantastic. My only complaint about Trolls 2 is I would have preferred the movie to legit be a good 20 minutes longer just so they could fit in more songs. I wanted way more songs than what we got. Because honestly, I see the Trolls series a lot like, coincidentally, Pitch Perfect, which Anna Kendrick's also in. yeah, it's a movie, but really it's a movie and it's an excuse so you can just watch him do cool songs. You know, it's like the whole premise of Glee. You know, the Glee TV show, nobody really watched it for plot. They watched it just to see what pop songs they would cover. So I wanted more songs in Trolls 2. I really did. Onward was great. I loved Onward. Well, I think Crazy Ike fell asleep because Crazy Ike is the king of burning the candle at both ends, everybody. For those of you unfamiliar with that idiom, Crazy Ike burns himself up doing everything until there is nothing left in him. Oh, you liked Onward, but you fell asleep during Trolls 2? I don't want to misquote you, Crazy Ike. Okay, that's the armor. Now, the armor, my effect of the paint, I'm going to go in and do a lot to that because right now I feel like we've softened stuff and it looks all hazy and cute now. I'll have to go in and do highlights as well. But now I'm just generally doing a lot of light and shadow work. We're going to jump right into the quote. We're going to jump right into the pants right now. Because we are doing a lot of painting, but we're not actually doing a lot of burn and dodging, and that's what I need to get to. Honestly, I probably should have done that in the breastplate. I just wasn't sure how well the black would react. I love Frozen 2. I absolutely love Frozen 2. That show is fantastic. Just because there's so many tiny notes in it that Disney's never done, then I'm really happy they tried. So, where's our pants layer? We're going to shut the armor. Jump in the pants. Yeah, that's way too smooth. I'm going to duplicate the pants and vanish the original pants. So we're going to work on a clone in case we don't like anything we do. So I'm going to grab Burn and Dodge. Dodge lightens, burn darkens. I explained in an early video, but at the same time, oh no. Why are you oh, I know why you're this. Okay. I made you into a weird brush for another thing I can't tell anybody about. Okay. So exposure set way too high. I'll go up a little higher. Okay. And I am now burning midtones. So the algorithm senses what range of value, and it's making the tool only hit middle range values. You'll notice if you do the extremes of burning shadows or dodging highlights, things change rapidly. You do have to do all of it. You can't just do one effect and get a nice approach. But I tend to find with burning and dodging, a good cautious approach is sticking to midtones at first to sort of establish the base ground rules of where you want to go. Unless you know for a fact. Okay. Okay. Just darkening. Darkening. I'm going to darken this whole side of his pants. Chicks do dig meth in lumberjacks. Classic. Okay. Now I'm going to grab swap to shadows and I'm going to back off the exposure. Exposure 56 is going to be crazy. It's going to do this. It's going to go just black. And I don't want that. Even though there's a cloak back there and I probably should go pretty dark, I want to ease into it. So nope, that's too dark. I don't like that either. Nope. Dial it back. Dial it back. Dial it back. Yeah, check out that. Sweet. I'm just trying to hit shadow folds. Yeah, I did get shot that night. It was rough. I got shot that night. Not in real life, kids. Never. Not in real life. I am a teacher and pretty much a weakling pacifist. So there you go. Not because I don't believe in violence. Let's just face it. I don't really get into fights. Yep, only me. Tim's turret hated me that night. Now I'm trying to put some of these streaks under and around folds of cloth, so it seems like there's a texture to the way the cloth bends and folds. Bend folds 5. Welcome to painting times. Okay. Fulcrum's looking okay. What I like is I was worried about from before when we hadn't done his skin tones with light and shadow yet, is that he was looking too wide, and now he's looking appropriately like thin, because I had done light and shadow to certain parts but not other parts yet. So, and we continue. Let's work that cloak. Let's clone it. Vanish the original. And let's tool up the cloak. Already worked the bottom quite a bit. Gonna burn and dodge. The cool thing is I don't have to set up a selection because this color only exists. It's the only thing on this layer. So if I go outside the bounds... Oh, that's shadows. Well, I kind of like it. I might have to set up new selections. Yep, looks like. So, let's go small. Accentuate here. Float here. I'm going to have to grab some midtones now because it's going to stop doing what I want because it takes the pre-existing color information. So if the color information there is bright, I'm the one that has to darken it. Like right here, it's a flare-up of too bright. So if I want to deaden that, I have to go to burning highlights, which is a little tricky. I don't even remember what I said that for. I worked in the bottom so much. Did I just say it? Oh, nice. Okay. I just said and I didn't even realize it. I just said it. My thing is angry. It creaks now. Isn't that delightful? Howdy, Malice. What's up? This is not getting me anywhere. It doesn't want to do it at all. Why? There we go. Because it was a mid-tone, I thought it was a highlight. Okay. I want to go in here. I want to do that fold right there. I'm even gonna... I think I'm gonna eyeball it. I can stay inside the lines. I got this. Big exposure. Come on. Come on. Go darker. Go darker. Do what I say. Not you guys. Ah. Well. Welcome, Malice. Here's the tour. This is Fulcrum. Tim's character, our warlock. And my go-to is I steal textures from usually textures.com, and I form fit them using a free transform, which lets me warp things into shape. And there's no way around the tattoos. The tattoos, to make them look embroidered like thread, I just had to paint them. So let's show you right here, kids. I got a 10 pixel brush, and that was too big. So yes, a lot of these are single pixel brushwork, which is the best kind of brushwork when you're only painting 1 pixel line at a time. It's fun. For example, I'll show you what that looks like. Yeehaw. 1 pixel. It's gonna look like Mario. It's gonna look ridiculous. And you're like, that doesn't look like a line, because you have to almost like blur with your eyes and not pay attention to it, because then when you zoom out and they finally blur together, it does look like a line. Now it's gone. So that was a lot. It was just a lot. There's no way around it. It was a lot. I have my highlight interrupting my lines up here. That's a whole new problem I hadn't anticipated, so I'll have to deal with that at another time, I'm sure. Let's see. Where are we at now? We are cloaking. We are cloaking. They are sewn on. They are sewn on. They don't. His tats don't look like they're sewn on. His tats are made of thread that weaves itself through his skin. And then when he summons the sword, some of the threads pull themselves out into reality. Because I like playing with aesthetics a lot. Actually, if you guys want to get, I'm not going to see if I can find it. That was inspired. Here's some art history, guys, or modern art history. Eliza Bennet is awesome. A lot of my students have done things on her before. This was the inspiration of Fulcrum, and my student, I have students do reports on maybe artists that we haven't all heard of that personally inspire them. So that means they have to go out and find artists that inspire them. And Eliza Bennet is one, and I know of another that also embroiders their own skin. And it's amazing, but at the same time, it's like terrifying, because she's literally doing that with a needle and thread. It's a whole elaborate, ridiculous process. And then after she's done removing it, is like she'll do, it might not be her. There's a guy that does it as well. And I know with the guy, after he does, yes, actually for real, in their skin pan, for real. I'm not making that up. And there's a guy that does it as well. I don't remember the guy's name, but he purposely waits to do, hold on. Is this him? Yes, this is the guy. He does portraits. And then he'll show you his healing process as well. Artists are weird, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. So that was the inspiration for Fulcrum. I knew about these artists. I thought it'd be a cool aesthetic inside the game that would make his pact as a warlock feel a little unique. Whenever I can add a unique aesthetic or a unique skin or detail that doesn't really affect mechanics at all, but will help the guys feel like their experiences, I'm not a wizard. I'm not just another wizard. I'm a skeezer. I am my own uniqueness. And because I'm unique, my art, what did I do? Paint? No, don't paint. No, go away. Because I'm so unique, my magic works only this way. Fulcrum is a warlock, and everything with his has been sewing themed since day one. Yeah, see, Malice gets it. Because at the end of the day, the one of the many advantages D&D and any RPG by extension has on a video game is that any DM worth their salt should be trying to make the players sitting at the table have an experience that they couldn't get from a video game. Because otherwise, go play a video game. And what I love about D&D and have always loved about D&D is that I can talk to whoever I want in the game, and then that's where the story's going. I have absolute autonomy. The closest I think anything gets to that is kind of the online games, like kind of Grand Theft, kind of WoW, kind of Skyrim. But with Skyrim, on the good side, everything obeys theme, but then also you get fixed responses from all the NPCs. They're canned. They only have so many things that they can say. Whereas, if you go into online, well, then you do have anybody can say anything, but then you get the ridiculousness of online. And then you have players where they'll talk to you, but nothing is in theme. It's like you've got, oh, see, that's awesome. I rolled nat 20. So what I like is like being able to do anything. That's what I like. So if I can make the guys feel just a step beyond their class, that's the trick. You want them to feel like they are the class they're playing, but they're more than just that. And if you just stick to, you're a barbarian, you rage, then it feels very mechanical. But, what if in the backstory a particularly traumatic moment that causes the barbarian that they tap into, like therapy, to reach their rage? Or maybe it's almost like a particular body area, like yoga, like meditation, that they feel their anger is seated. Like they reach into their gut, and then for a second their stomach boils with acid rage, and then it burns up through them. Make it a little bit more. I almost always keep theme in mind when I'm playing with the guys, and I'll generally warp a whole character around a theme idea. Everything about Skeezer, everything, is based in the fact that he's an illusionist, and this origin that he worked up that is slowly being revealed right now. And that's his whole thing. Everything with Balron's nautical. It always was. It always will be. It's tied to his faith and his gods. So I really like to go into, yeah, it really is just like, boom, now I'm angry. Like, it can't be just, boom, I'm angry. That's boring. With a rogue, you can just get crazy about environment. You can talk about environment all day. Like, the shadows stretch around the building. You find yourself cropped up underneath the hitching post for all the horses, and then you move like hay up, and you found yourself a little hide spot. You spend forever setting a scene, almost like a film noir, just way overly describing things, so that when they feel they're sneaking, they really feel, oh, it's not I click a button and I become invisible. Because people think stealth is that, because video game mechanics have made stealth seem like that, and stealth shouldn't be like that. Stealth is, you're a ninja not because you can disappear, but because you bothered to find a good hidey spot, So what's the good hidey spot? And you want to just, make it unique. DMs out there, make it unique. Make it worth the trip. Your friends came over to your house, they can play a video game. So what's to stop them from wanting to play a video game? That to me is like the low watermark, like when you're really fucking up as a DM, is when they whip out that phone. That's, oof. So, okay. If they got that phone out, you're doing something wrong. I mean, you could be like, well, yeah, Levi, but, they're dicks. Well, okay. Maybe your friends are dicks, but if they're not paying attention to your game, it's something you're failing to do right. Okay, see how the shadows shape his horns so much better. I was waiting to get to that so badly. We're working on the cloak, and I was generally talking zombie about game design, like D&D. So that is a general approach to all the value we're gonna stick on Fulcrum for now. He's not done. I knew I'd get close today, but I knew I wasn't going to get completely done. So let's see here. Oh, his mouth is going to be hilarious when I make him talk today. That's going to be funny stuff because I haven't done any of the value on it. So I'm going to do talky mouth, everybody. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Fulcrum. And thanks for watching me develop today. I feel like I'm more real, but not quite there yet. And, really, I just want to be a real boy. Skeeter's real boy. Koto's real boy. When do I get to be a real boy? So, let's talk about our friends, associates, and all the many things. Here comes a endless waterfall of plugs. Tonight on TT2KB, this is it. Tomorrow is Everstorm, of which I'm the captain. Captain Fulcrum here. Never crash a boat. Nope. Not me. So, I am leading the crew in mysterious islands to investigate what is up with Skeezer. Because, let me tell you folks, I thought I was the complicated one on the group. Let me tell you. I'm not. So, join us tomorrow night at 10 for another rousing adventure with the crew of Sarah's Grit as we sail onward through the Everstorm. And that brings me to Sunday. I don't know what's happening Sunday. Monday is the wisdom check, where Dustin and Jeff will be interviewing somebody. And that somebody and the topic of their episode on Monday, as I sit here and vamp and wait for Jeff to let me know that I've got to tell you that on Monday, the guest and the topic of conversation is gonna be so thrilling and amazing that DM Farius, who we're about to raid, is going to talk about DM prep for new DMs and what it's like with the learning curve of being a DM in 5th Ed. And he is the DM for Air Laser, so all our love to that whole group. We're going to talk to him, and then on Tuesdays we got Bardic Knowledge with Cam. And, Cam's a good guy, but Cam's not making me a real boy. Levi's doing that. So that would make me Team Dm2Art. Then that brings us around to Wednesday, which is our Pathfinder 2 game. And join us. Help us with subscriptions and followers because, folks, when we get to 500 followers, we're going to give away a Pathfinder 2nd Edition core rulebook. That's right. You have to be a subscriber to be eligible, but you get a Pathfinder book. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next week is a big week, everybody. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're doing a Dungeon Crawl Classics tournament. And Levi, Cam, Jeff, and Clint are all going to march through a dungeon and die in the first room. And it's somehow for points, and we're gonna lose. So come and watch us lose. Jeff just found out today he starts with a bag of poop. That's right, a poop bag. That's in his inventory, which I find a big metaphor for our whole team. Yay, poop. And with that, sorry to wrap early today, but let's go hit Air Laser. So thanks for coming by, everybody, and we'll come back on Dm2Art sometime in the future. Bye-bye.